everyone, I'm Captain Logan, and joining me once again is DJ Martinez.
Hey everyone.
And today we're going to do another streaming service video. We're just going to take a look at a relatively new streaming service, although this one's been out, a couple weeks already?
I think so. I think it's at least a week. I found out about it through an ad, so I think it was already out when I found out about it.
We're going to do one of these sampler videos. I've not taken a look at Paramount Plus at all yet, beyond just noticing that my app had changed because I embarrassingly had CBS All Access already, which I subscribed for when I was, forced to talk about Star Trek Discovery when that started, and then to watch Picard, and I always meant to jump off of it, and I never did. I ended up just paying my $6 every month, and I feel like an idiot. And I used it for some other things here and there every now and again. One of the reasons I hung on to it is for a while I was watching Price is Right every day with Freddie. It was kind of easier to watch it that way than to have to go to the website or whatever. But anyway, I guess I don't have to explain myself to you guys, but I feel embarrassed by how long I have had a subscription to CBS All Access, because I don't want to support that, because I'm so unhappy and jaded with what they did to Star Trek. In fact, I'm going to start just using Star Trek in air quotes now. Whenever we talk about new Trek, CBS's Star Trek. I haven't even watched the third season of Discovery. I don't want to. I have no interest. Like, I saw the first episode of it, and I just have not felt like wasting my time with it. So anyway, this is not going to be fun for me, because I have to look at images from that stuff again, and I don't know. It triggers me, DJ. It gives me flashbacks. I PTSD.
I think at one point you said you weren't going to watch the second season, and then that happened. So there's a chance. There's a chance you could end up watching the third season at some point.
I'm not. Picard hurt that a lot, and I'm not getting a lot of requests for it. I haven't had anybody come out of the woodwork and go, "Hey Cap, where's your Discovery Season 3 review?" No one cares.
No one cares. Ah, so sad. At least people can get riled up about Star Wars because they hate it, but just no one cares about Star Trek these days. It's really sad.
It's kind of sad. All right, well, let's go ahead and now that I'm really depressed, now that I'm in a wrestling mood, let's go on to the Paramount Plus. Here we go. So, welcome to. Oh, hold on. That's.
You're a fresh subscriber.
I don't know. So I had this set up to go to the right display, but now it's not doing that. So, let's see. Okay, there we go. Yeah, welcome to Paramount Plus. Dive in with thousands of newly added episodes from BET, CBS, Comedy Central, MTV, Nickelodeon, and Smithsonian Channel. That sounds riveting. Plus brand new originals. Now this is peak streaming. I'm sure it is. Okay, so one thing I will say that I appreciate, that I've always appreciated about All Access, is that it does have live TV. So whatever CBS, the channel, is playing at any given moment, without having to subscribe to a cable service, you can be watching, which gives you limited access to some sports and stuff, and news and things if you like CBS News. So that's nice. There aren't a lot of services that give you that.
That is true, yeah, and it's very similar. I mean, it's much more limited, obviously, than Hulu TV, but it works about the same. You don't have DVR or any of the fast forwarding or rewinding capabilities. But yeah, I've messed with it a little bit, and I'll just say I have been messing around with this for a couple days. I didn't have CBS All Access. I'm a brand new subscriber. They won me over, obviously, with that amazing.
I'm getting triggered again because it's a series made by Kurtzman that everyone is saying horrible things about. What the heck is Henry Danger? That looks like an unfortunate superhero thing.
Oh, you might have to do it, man.
Anyway, I'm sorry. So you've actually been looking at this.
I've looked at it for a couple days, just trying to get my thoughts on it, because I like to mess around with streaming services when they come out. One good thing about it, if you're looking into trying it, they have a free month. So unlike Apple TV Plus that only had a free week that I tried a couple months ago, this has a whole free month. So I'm gonna cancel that in a little bit, but I just wanted to at least try it out. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that. Let me save my thoughts for the end, if it's a recommend or not. But but yeah, I've been messing around with a couple days.
Okay, cool. So I read out all of the new channels that are included here. It's kind of like HBO Max in that it's got these hubs for channels that weren't there before, because HBO Max is now the kind of Warner's catch-all thing. Paramount Plus, I would argue, has a better name because HBO should have had Warner's in its name. I think that would have been better branding. I don't know if for whatever reason they just weren't allowed to use that because they had really weird restrictions with HBO Max. So the branding with this is less confusing. What makes it equally confusing is that, as you alluded to earlier, DJ, a lot of people don't realize that this is a streaming service that already existed and has just been bulked up now. And Brandon was confused about that. I was talking to him about this the other day, and he was saying something about Paramount Plus, and I was like, you realize it's just CBS All Access with more stuff now, right? And he had no idea that they were... I think he was surprised. There was something he was surprised was on Paramount Plus, one of the new Trek things, and I was like, and I was like, Brandon, it's just CBS All Access. Oh, okay. So, people are not getting the memo about this.
Well, I don't think there is a memo. I think that's totally intentional that they're trying to not tell people that this is just CBS All. I think they're branding it as something all new, brand new, to get new people, so people don't associate it with just CBS All Access. I think that's
and that's a good point, because of course that was clearly a failure, and that's not going to hurt their bottom line at all, right? Like that'll, if new people subscribe not knowing that was CBS All Access, how does that hurt them? That's a good point.
Yeah, I think as I dropped my phone, I think that was their plan.
So
to rebrand it.
Here are our trending shows right now. Our stuff from Nickelodeon and Paramount Plus originals, like Camp Coral from SpongeBob. So lots of Nickelodeon stuff. NCIS is here, but I think that was already there. I don't know if anybody will ever in history go back and watch reruns of The Real World, but okay. Discovery, Boo... Hawaii Five-0. So all the CBS stuff has been here all this time. And if you were subscribed, you could have gotten that. So the only new stuff that I'm seeing is those few channels. All of Star Trek was already there. Twilight Zone was a CBS All Access original. Of course, with the rebranding, they're now pretending like it was always Paramount Plus. But that was already there. I like some of these new images for Star Trek. Enterprise looks nice with the red. I've never seen that. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
But
I've always wanted to be that job.
And the TOS one is gorgeous. I know you're not a Trek guy, but I gotta look at this for a second. That's pretty.
Yeah, I've always wanted to be that guy who gets this job that gets to pick all the imagery for the streaming services. I don't know
it's always fun when they get it wrong.
Yeah. Well, the designer can't watch everything.
Did you know about this with? I know I'm getting off topic here, but did you know about the thing with the Batman on HBO Max?
Oh no!
Oh, it's great when they added the Batman. I wish I had the image here to show you. It's on my phone. I'll pull it up at some point and send it to you because they fixed it now. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, I gotta make sure and hang on to that because they'll fix it. But the day that they put out the Batman, I got a message from Blue Dragon 5. He found this, and I would not have. And it had it was so weird. The Batman image was wrong, but next to Batman was on one side Robin and on the other side Batgirl, and it was the Robin and the Batgirl from the Batman, but in the middle Batman was the like Justice League Unlimited version.
Oh, weird.
Surrounded by the right models from that show. So strange.
That's unfortunate. Well, I remember when HBO Max got the Fantastic Four 2005 movie, they had the Fan 4-stick. I actually sent you a picture of this when it happened. I don't know if you remember. They had the Fan 4-stick image.
Oh, yeah.
But it was the Tim Story movie. So, yeah, that happens every now and then.
Console Wars, I reviewed a few weeks ago. That is a documentary that was a CBS All Access original. Again, now rebranded Paramount Plus. Look, Elvis in Blue Hawaii. I've actually never seen that.
Yeah, it's weird the rights to some movies they have here.
And I'm assuming a lot of these movies were not here before. It's not like I was intimately familiar with all of what CBS All Access had, because I only subscribed to it for a couple of things, and begrudgingly, but I don't think they had a lot of movies in the first place. Let me check real quick, because I'm curious to know how much of the Star Trek movies they have, because those have not been all available in one place for a long time. And I just noticed Generations, which makes me think that maybe they gave us all the movies back. That'd be good. Voyage Home is here. Oh no, nope.
I'm
It's
only
still
seeing
split up.
three.
It's still strangely split up. We've only got three. It's Generations, Voyage Home, and Nemesis. Okay, great. You can watch
Yeah,
Nemesis. All right.
yeah, it's definitely for people who don't know anything about this. It's definitely a TV service. They have some movies, but if you go to the top and click movies, it's only like maybe 20.
Oh, is it that? Is it that few?
Yeah, it's just a few rows, maybe 5 rows.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
So yeah, it's definitely TV focused. I guess they just have some strange rights crossover that they can
That's
throw some of these
really
on there.
embarrassing. Like, why even have movies at that point?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess so you can say you have the Godfathers and the Indiana Joneses. It's
This thing is trying really hard to look like it is a Disney Plus or an HBO Max, that it can rival those services. It's just not one of those yet.
it's just really small. Yeah, that's what I noticed as going through this. There's a lot of Nickelodeon stuff on here, and that might be enough for some people. I was talking to some guys in the Discord, and they were like, "Wow, that's nostalgic, all that Nickelodeon stuff." So for some people, but that's not going to draw a huge audience.
Let me check something real quick, because let's look at the actual A to Z, because that was just the popular. No, it's more than we were thinking.
Okay.
They
Well,
actually
that's
have
good.
quite a few movies, it looks like. That's misleading, and that's a mistake, because
Well,
we both
and
fell
that's
for that.
yeah.
So when it comes up, you assume that you're looking at their library, but you're not. You're just looking at what they've probably arbitrarily decided are popular, given some of these titles, including Spy Kids 3D and Operation Condor.
Yeah, and I have a lot of complaints with the UI on this, which I can talk about a little bit later, but yeah, it's really bad that they
Amelie here is one of my favorite soundtracks of all time.
Oh, cool.
I find that
I've seen
movie
that cover a lot. I've never
kind
seen
of
that movie though.
difficult to get through, because it's just a foreign film with sensibilities that I don't appreciate. But the score is beautiful, and it it has some really great accordion music.
Iron Monkey is on here. I have not seen that.
Oh, look,
That
it's
was a
the
movie.
comedy roast of William Shatner.
Heyo. That's a movie.
Yeah, it is really cool, all the Comedy Central stuff they have here.
Yeah, that's one of their brands that they have at the top,
With
which you can
some
look at.
of, yeah, but I didn't realize that they were going to have as many of the specials, so that's cool. I don't know how much of that they've got, but so yeah, I mean, not a. I'm still going to stand by what I said earlier. This still does not rival those other two services I was talking about, and immediately when you put plus in the title, it sounds like you're just ripping off your one of your competitors, where you're like, well, plus is working for them. And because I mean, and technically, I guess it sort of is, but it's like, okay, Paramount is. I'm splitting hairs, but Paramount is the parent company, and Paramount, that's the parent company, and then Disney is the parent company, which means by definition you can't be more than you are. Like, the plus doesn't make sense, because like, okay, you get Disney like plus Fox and plus whatever, but they own Fox now, so it's still Disney.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense on any of them.
Uh
I mean, it kind of makes sense on Apple TV Plus because Apple TV is a thing. So maybe they get away with it, but Apple TV Plus still sounds really stupid.
So yeah, one thing I am kind of liking about the setup here, and of course, I'm sure it looks. There's Dimitri Martin's show. If you've never seen that, watch that. It's very funny. This is a sketch. Yes, it is. Anyway, but go. But yeah, go check that out. It's fun. Anyway, one thing I am kind of liking about the what this looks like on browser is just that it gives you all of these in the front. Because on HBO Max, you have to kind of go hunt for the hubs if you don't know where they are.
Yeah, that saves you a click there. That's also how Disney Plus does it, so I can't give them too much credit because it just kind of took it from Disney Plus. But that is nice.
Yeah, it was smart. HBO Max should also rip that off if they don't have that right now.
No, it's still under the hamburger menu at the top on the side. But yeah, so that's nice. I do like that. They also have cool animations when you hover over them, just like Disney Plus does.
So it wasn't this way before with CBS All Access. Maybe I have to give them a little bit more credit. I didn't realize that they had a separate setup for news and sports and entertainment as opposed to just the local CBS. So that's potentially nice if you're wanting live sports and stuff. So what's your issue with the UI?
Several issues. First of all, which is I think the biggest one and really annoying, is there's no watch list. I've never seen this on a streaming service. You have to just like find what you're gonna watch and then watch it, and then find it again next time you come back. Like it'll be in your keep watching, I guess, but because there is a keep watching list.
Yeah,
like,
it gives you that
thing there, but there's no like you can't go through one day and find a lot of things you want to watch and put them in your list, and then you have no easy access to them coming back in, which is really annoying, at least for the way I use streaming services.
Yeah, does HBO give you that too?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
HBO has a great one where if you just hover
I never
over
used
the
those.
thing.
Maybe I should. I used to. Back in the old days of Netflix, I did.
Yeah, that's how I do everything. And I came here, and HBO Max has a really nice where you just hover over a show or a movie, and then it has ad right there. You don't even have to click into it to add it. You can just add it straight from the main menu. But yeah, I couldn't believe that. I don't know if that's just a thing they pull over from CBS All Access, or I don't know why they left that off. That seems pretty standard in all the other streaming services. So that was surprising to me. Another thing that's really annoying is there's no, like, you know how you just went A to Z on movies?
Yeah.
If you go into the brands and click on one, like Nickelodeon, it'll load all of them in the trending order, but there's no A to Z. There's no
that's preposterous.
settings.
Why would you not have it set up the same way for everything?
You have to scroll through that and find. I was trying to look at stuff when I first logged into this, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool," and it took me forever to find it though. Like I was looking for TMNT. Good luck finding it. Nothing's in alphabetical order.
Is this that Hidden Temple movie they made?
Yes, I accidentally clicked on that because I thought it was the show.
That can't be good.
Oops, got some kind of error.
Yeah, I don't like that it just loads the movie right away.
Yeah, there's no pages for the. There's pages for the shows, but
not for the movies. That's
starts
weird.
playing it.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm having a lot of things. Another
Okay,
thing,
so wait. So this sets up trending. What happens though when you click see all shows? Does it put it in alphabetical? No, it doesn't. Wait, yes it does. Wait, no, it doesn't. Never mind. No, it doesn't. It doesn't put it in alphabetical. You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
but you can stream Double Dare now. We've never been able to do that before.
That solves everything.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Maybe did Nickelodeon have a service before?
I don't know. They probably had something, like Boomerang or something. Maybe. I can't say.
Is this going to give us? Sorry, now I'm just being self-indulgent because I have children. Does this give us access now to the original Blue's Clues? Because my kids used to really love that show. Is this the new one or the old one? Oh, look, I can set up parental controls. Oh, yeah, this is the old one. Great. Well, I'm glad that's there. Because I have not been able to use that in a long time. Anyway, nobody cares about that, but it's good. It's good that that's there. So I'm glad to have access to Nickelodeon now.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. They do have an A to Z. I've been using this on the Fire Stick and the PS4 as well, checking it out, and they do have an A to Z function there when you click on the brands or when you click on the shows, but
not on the web browser.
Even more annoying because it doesn't load downward like this does. It's all in a side, like it's just a side scroll. Like you just have to keep going and going and going and finding stuff. Like it's really annoying on there. Like
now to be fair, it is new. They might fix some of that.
Yeah, I hope so. But it's a rebrand of an existing.
There is no excuse because CBS All Access was there for 3 years.
Yeah, you should have had all that time to iron out these kinks, especially because I don't know. I feel like when HBO Max and Disney Plus are out there doing this, like the streaming thing, like really, really well, you should have a good template to just do that. It's not like they have patents on interfaces. But yeah, another annoying thing is when you click on it, when you actually start playing something, there's no X or close button on the player. It does this. I don't know if you want to start playing something, but it does this really weird thing where you have to like slide down the menu and then go back, and you can't get back to the page you were just on.
Oh wow. Yeah, I can't do that because we'll get flagged. But
yeah. But yeah, if you try to click on something, there's no X. Like usually you just close the show you're watching, and then you're right back on the page you were just on, so you can click on a different episode or cycle through. But this one you have to go all the way back to the main menu because there's no X button to close it out. It's just annoying things like that. I know this is what I do. I'm a UI UX designer, so I notice these kind of things. I know people are probably going to think I'm nitpicking, but is kind of annoying, especially when we've had good examples that have ironed out these kinks that Netflix has been working on this for a long time. It doesn't seem
Yeah,
like.
there's not an excuse now because again, was already a service for a long time, so it should have had some of those kinks worked out. And yeah, they've got new like branch offs and stuff that they didn't have before, new categories, but still, there's a lot of other examples to look at, and I guess that leads to my second thing, which is there's all these other streaming services. Like you should be able to do your research and see what works and what doesn't. And
Yeah.
you know, some people, like you said, might think you're nitpicking, except once they get into it and have some of those issues themselves, it won't feel like nitpicking anymore because some of those things are not annoying until you have to deal with them.
Yeah. And some of them like go hand in hand. Like you can't just go back to the page before. You have to go back to the main page, which wouldn't be a problem if it wasn't so hard to find stuff because they're not in A to Z on that page. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's really weird.
Things just add up to make a really, really bad experience for the user.
But I don't understand why they would have like all their shows A to Z, but they wouldn't have A to Z inside of the brand tabs.
Yeah, that's just a component. You should be able to copy and paste the code right over to the brand's
That's
page.
a 6-second fix.
I don't know what they're...
Like, if you worked for them, you could go do that right now.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a rush job, if that's what it is, but I don't know. I don't know if they hurried this out.
So I will say, the more I'm looking at this, especially because of Nickelodeon, they do have, of course, a lot of stuff that wasn't here before. It's still not to the same extent that HBO and Disney are. And, they've got Frasier now, which used to be on Netflix. Remember when Netflix had like stuff that people watched?
Noticing a lot of stuff on here. They have obviously this was before this. I'm sure this was a while ago, but I was watching the Twilight Zone on here a couple days ago.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if they had original Twilight Zone here before, because that was on Netflix for the longest time.
Yeah, I knew it was on Netflix. I figured CBS took it when they launched the new version, but I guess not.
I'm not sure. I didn't think they did. Because I was watching Twilight Zone again on Netflix far after they started their show. So yeah,
interesting. They must have just had the rights. It must have been a Netflix deal that finally fell through.
There are some things that they own that they could be using to beef this up, unless they have contracts that I don't know about. I was really kind of hoping that the other Ninja Turtle shows would be here, and they're not. It's just the O3 show, and it's really nice that is somewhere now.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong, because it's hard to get the discs, and they were released horribly. Trying to put all those box sets together is a nightmare. So having them, like, if you're a fan of that show, it's worth getting this service just to watch through that again and then drop the service, I'd say.
Yeah, I definitely agree about that.
But I was hoping it would get the 87 show, because I don't think that's ever been streaming anywhere. And
I don't know how that works.
And Nickelodeon owns all of it.
Oh, it does?
That's weird. Nickelodeon owns all of Ninja Turtles now. That's the reason that the DJ, that the IDW comics are allowed to use Krang and the Technodrome and the Neutrinos and all that stuff. Oh. The O3 show had to avoid that stuff because they didn't have the rights to it. They didn't have access to it. But 2012 brought all that stuff back, or some of that stuff back. Actually, no. Eventually, they did bring it all back when they did the crossover, especially.
It's really weird that 2012's not on here. And I don't know my Nickelodeon well enough.
2012 is still streaming on Hulu, so they must still have a rights, some kind of a contract going on with that. But I don't think anybody's got 87, so that wouldn't be a contract thing.
That's weird.
Unless somebody does, and I have never known about it. And I mean, I own that show, so I don't need it. But it's just weird that that's not streaming any place.
Yeah, and that is some slack we can give it, because it's new. Like, when Disney and HBO both dropped, they also had some rights tied up that they couldn't put on their streaming service for a while. Obviously, Disney didn't even have all the Marvel movies when they launched.
But anything that they don't have a rights issue with, they should be putting on here just to beef it up.
Yeah, they need to fill it out a little bit. It's definitely the smallest. I mean, I don't even know if we can call this one of the big fives. One of the big five.
At the moment, I would think not. It does have a cheap subscription price, so that's good.
That's interesting. I do want to ask you about that, because you said are you still grandfathered in at the $6 price?
Yes.
Because it's $10.
Oh, is it really?
For new subscribers? Yeah, it's $9.99.
I didn't know that. I believe it has stayed at $6 for anybody that was there already. But I didn't know. Okay, all right. Well, I take that back then. I didn't know that they were making everybody else pay 10. 10 is steep for this.
Well, it is $9.99 for the commercial free. I think
Okay.
they do have a commercial one that is $5.99.
It's
So
it's the Hulu thing. Well, okay.
yeah.
In their defense, though, no, it is the same price it always was then, because
Okay.
the thing is, they never offered a commercial free version of CBS All Access. It was always with commercials.
Oh.
And it was $6. So
So they
yeah,
did.
it's not a grandfather thing. It is the same price it's always been. They have just now added a version that allows you to do it without commercials.
So they did. They just did the exact Max model. They're like, all right, you're going to get all of HBO, same price. We're not going to change it, but you're going to get all this more stuff. Except it's not as much stuff as HBO Max. But they just did
Yep.
the exact same upgrade. Interesting. Yeah, Smithsonian Channel.
Oh my
It's
God,
like,
it's touched by an angel.
oh, Twin Peaks is on here. Connor will be excited about that.
I'm sure he was already subscribed to CBS All Access for that. No, I'm kidding.
Just for that show.
But anyway, what else do we need to bring up about this?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know who our audience is. The MTV, there's like a lot of reality TV shows from MTV on here. If Jersey Shore is your thing, that's one of their brands that they have.
I was gonna say the stuff that our base is most gonna care about is gonna be possibly some of the animation with Nickelodeon and Ninja Turtles '03 and Star Trek if you don't already have Netflix, and if you like New Track, but anybody that is into that already has this.
Yeah, and Avatar, The Last Airbender, and Korra are both on here. I don't know if Netflix lost those
Oh,
or if it's
interesting.
on both. So they're both on the Nickelodeon section, which is a big draw because a lot of people got into that when Netflix got it last year for the first time.
I
So
just
that's
couldn't,
nice.
I couldn't look at that tab too long. I had to click away real fast.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't know this was gonna be so traumatic for you. I wouldn't have.
It's difficult, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to quit this video here in a second. I don't think I can handle it anymore.
It is really weird that they don't have all the movies, like you said. I don't know if that's like a deal, a right
Yeah,
deal.
they've still got stuff tied up, I'm sure, because those have been splintered for a long time. Different ones show up in different places. I think Amazon
Yeah.
Prime might still have some of them.
So we did talk about the pricing. The obviously $5.99 is what Cap's doing. I'm doing the $9.99 one with no ads technically, but it's just because I'm doing a free month. I don't think I'm going to keep this after this. I think I'm probably definitely going to cancel after the first month. I don't think there's enough on here for me to justify even $5.99 a month. I may get it later down the road to show my son some of the shows like TMNT that I grew up with, but he's not old enough right now really to get into it. So I don't think this is going to be a keeper for me. I think I'll just watch a couple things and then probably drop it after the free month. But one thing that people will care about is they are doing the same thing as HBO Max, and they're going to stream their movies like 30 to 45 days after they drop in the theater.
Okay.
I think the first one they're doing is a Paw Patrol movie, but the second one they're doing is Quiet Place 2, which is a big deal. I don't know how big of a deal it is, but I like the first movie, and I know a lot of people did. So that'll drop on here. But they're doing it not same day. They're doing the opposite of HBO Max. Instead of dropping like for a month and then going off, they're dropping it after a month of being in the theater.
I think you're going to see a lot more things go that way with companies that even still try to put their stuff in the theater. I think gone might be the days of you have to wait 3-4 months.
Yeah, and I was just watching a video. We might need to talk about this on the Captain Logan show or something, but it is the theaters and the streaming services are really fighting, especially Disney. Disney had a really low. I don't know if you saw how low Raya and the Last Dragon's box office first weekend was this last weekend.
I don't know what that is.
It was. That's Disney's new.
I'm so out of touch. I don't even know what that is. Oh, okay.
Disney's latest movie this year. Only 8.5 million opening weekend, and it's because they would not budge an inch on their 50-50 with the theaters. HBO Max gave the theaters a little bit more to compensate for the fact that they were showing it on their streaming services. Disney refused to do that, and because of that, Cinemark, the third biggest theater in the country, did not show the movie at all. Didn't show Disney's movie. Disney's big animated movie.
There is a war going on right now.
And then I think Canada's number one theater didn't show it, and then another big, like number 5 in the U.S. also didn't show it. And then Regal's still closed. So all they had was AMC, and it was a really low weekend, 8.5, which is Disney, and then Tom and Jerry, which I'm sure is not a great movie. HBO Max released it last weekend, 14 million.
And
almost double.
Yeah, 14 million, and that's with it being free to
Also
watch with a subscription
Yeah.
on the same day. Yeah. Because I know people that watched that movie, but nobody went to the theater to see it that I know.
Yeah.
So I'm astounded that it did that well at the box office.
Yeah, that's and to do that much better than the big Disney movie is like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Obviously, this is another one. We're still splintering everything off into its own streaming service. It's gonna be.
That means they may have to. Disney is gonna have to budge someplace, right? They're gonna have to. They're gonna have to make a change because they think that they're still gonna do better in the theater, or at least they feel the necessity to keep releasing things in the theater first when HBO is not doing that, and HBO is still doing better than they are in the theater. That's a problem. Now, it might just be because of brand recognition, to be fair. The question is how much of that has to do with how many theaters were open and how much of it... I mean, that has to be some of it, don't get me wrong. And This is my first impression. I did not know about this. But just responding to what you just said, Tom and Jerry is a thing people have heard of. And
Yes.
Obviously, people want to see a lot of Disney's new animated things when the advertising makes it look enticing, but I didn't even hear about that. I didn't know they had a new animated movie coming out. I can't be the only one.
Yeah.
Where was the advertising for that movie? Like, I didn't know about it. It didn't show up on... I don't even remember seeing any ads for it like on the homepage for Disney Plus or anything.
That's interesting because I can't get away from it. It's all over
really?
my social media, and every YouTube video I watch is Ryan. I keep trying to stop looking at it because I don't like to see trailers, but I'm sure that's anecdotal.
Well, and mine, and that's exactly what I was going to say. Mine is also anecdotal, so take all this with a grain of salt. Keep in mind that we all live in our own little pocket dimensions now on the internet, right? Different things are different. You don't pay for YouTube Premium, and I do. So I never see YouTube ads anymore. So I'm in the dark on that.
And I'm very jealous of you because I hate the same ads over and over and over.
It sucks. Well, you're an admin on my YouTube. You can just stay signed in as me.
I guess I could, but I don't know. I feel weird about that.
I'm just saying you could. But anyway.
But yeah, obviously the brand recognition is there for Tom and Jerry, where this is a new IP, but still Disney. I mean, Disney is an IP in itself. Like you would think it would do at least close to the same numbers. I don't know.
This has me, and that's where the fact that that major theater chains aren't showing it obviously has to be cutting into that real hard for them. So they're going to have to make a change. They're going to have to either do what HBO is doing or make the concessions they need to so that all the theaters will show their stuff. But I never had this thought before. Riddle me this: do you think with HBO? Do you think, DJ, that there are people who have a subscription to HBO Max, see not an ad, but see that a new movie is streaming on HBO Max and that it's in the theater, and they go to the theater instead of watching it on HBO Max? Do you think that is actually built-in advertising?
That would be tough. That would be a hard get. Like, you'd have to really like theaters to be like, I can hit play right now and just watch it, or I can pack up, get my shoes on, and like get everybody in the car and drive to a theater. I just
wonder how many people actually have that. It can't be a lot, right? But I mean, you got to have cinephiles that are like, maybe not with Tom and Jerry. But you got to have cinephiles that like with something like I don't know with anything they've actually put up already, but like eventually when we get say like the Matrix 4 or whatever, that might see that and go, I need to see that large, but I'm glad to know it's out now, and then they go. Like, I don't know, maybe some of that happens.
That's true. I could see that, especially with the bigger movies that warrant a theater, where I'm sure Tom and Jerry doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't know, I could be wrong, but
Austin saw it, he said it was fine. He said it's typical Tim story.
Yeah. That's the kind of guy you hire to do the cartoons to live action movies.
Yeah. I had no interest in that at all, but
yeah, I don't know. I didn't either. But I'm not. I guess I grew up on Tom and Jerry a little bit, but
yeah, that was one I never cared about. Like I had Roadrunner. Why did I need Tom and Jerry? Like,
Yeah, you already got that built into the universe that you like. You don't need its own thing.
That's how I always felt about it.
But yeah, I mean, I think we covered it. I don't know. There's not too much to talk about with this streaming service. It's a smaller version of HBO Max with some different brands. If you really like Nickelodeon and you miss all that stuff from when you grew up, this could be for you, at least for a few months until you burn through that stuff. But I don't know. I don't know. They obviously don't have enough originals to bring in. Like a lot of people went to Apple TV Plus just for the originals because they had some really great originals on there. But I don't think there's anyone coming to Paramount Plus just for the originals.
No, and anybody that was is there already because most of their originals were already there on CBS All Access. They're banking really hard, and their advertising is very silly and kind of obnoxious and really tone deaf. I don't know if you've seen their like the Super Bowl commercials they did and stuff. They had a really hard Super Bowl push, and it was cringeworthy and embarrassing. I feel really bad for Patrick Stewart with that whole thing. The way that
it was probably in his Picard contract that he had to do that.
That's the sense I get. Yeah, and they're just kind of parading him around to sell this service because I've said this a million times with Star Trek, but like they don't care about Star Trek. The only reason they're making new Star Trek is to sell their stupid streaming service, and then they rebrand, and so then they double down on the whole Star Trek thing, hoping that somehow that will continue bringing in new people, even though I'm pretty sure it hasn't done enough of that for them in the first place. But it's like they were in a place where it was either I imagine where it was either shut down CBS All Access or do what everybody else is doing and put it all under one roof and hope now that is finally successful. And that's why they've now renewed Star Trek Discovery for a 4th season, and they're still making a big deal out of allegedly they're making Strange New Worlds and stuff. And so we're in the exact same place we were with that 3 years ago when Paramount or when CBS All Access started, which is we get new Star Trek just because they're trying to sell this stupid streaming service. And I don't know, that drives me crazy. But they're really banking on ignorance.
Yeah, they're trying to make that all the new flashy branding and flashy advertising. They're trying to get you to think it's big giant thing, but it's not.
And most of what they're selling, or at least not most of, half of what they're selling in that advertising is stuff that was there already under the same price point. So like they make a huge deal out of Star Trek there, and you're like, yeah, but you already had that. Like how many more people who that is into Star Trek did not get the memo on that's where Star Trek is. More to the point, that's where New Trek is, which is divisive at best. I can't use air quotes for that because New Trek is just a thing. I can't use air quotes there. But new Star Trek, but then it's also original Star Trek, or at least pre New Trek stuff, pre Abrams and beyond stuff is on Netflix and several other places. So you still don't need Paramount Plus to watch Star Trek.
They don't want you to know that, though, Cap.
They don't want you to know that. Yeah,
not at all.
And like I said, their branding or their advertising, a lot of it is stuff that was there already. And then like now Nickelodeon and a couple other things. So they're selling it with SpongeBob, and it was really Austin and I were talking about this last night, DJ. It's really weird seeing the 03 Michelangelo, like it's surreal, like show up in a commercial like almost 20 years later.
Yeah, did they have to? I don't know. I can't remember the commercial. Was it just they took that animation and just played it, or did they do new animation?
There's no way they spent the money to do new animation.
Okay, I was gonna say they probably just cut them out and stuck them on there.
That's my guess. Yeah, I only saw that commercial once, so I'm not totally sure, but I bet you $500.
Yeah, I would assume so too.
So that was very strange. Like nobody remembers that show, which sucks because it's wonderful and it's the best Ninja Turtle show we've ever had, in my mind. But
yeah, I agree.
But it's there now, and that's nice. But again, it was there pre this branding.
Yeah, that's right. Because I was talking about, it's coming, and then you're like, it's already there. I'm like, well, I'm just gonna wait till Paramount Plus comes out anyway, so I can get a free month.
And I don't know how long it was there before we noticed it. I think that was a new drop, to be fair to them, but it was pre this branding.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they had to take some time to get the branding together, so they had to know what was there, I guess. But no, it's nice to have all 7 seasons all together. Well, it's nice to have all 5 seasons, and then you can watch 6 and 7 if you want. But they're terrible.
You really want to, yeah.
But Yeah, it's cool. I'm excited about that because like you said, I've been trying to track down those DVDs forever. They release them in like 6 episode blocks, which are impossible to get. But then they also release like season 1 and 2, like in 2 DVD sets. But those are like hundreds of dollars. Like it was a very limited release on those. I don't know why that got such crappy releases, but it's nice to have it here.
And I've never gotten to see it in transfers that look that good.
Yeah, because I've had to watch it on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah. It's always taped off TV. I've only ever seen it on TV or taped off TV. So, like, that was a treat for me. Going back to some of those first season episodes.
Yeah, and we could probably talk about some of this show. We should do that because I really like this show.
We should do that, yeah. Especially because who knows how long it'll be there. Although that was another thing that I wanted to mention real briefly is one thing I will credit CBS All Access with is they don't tend to do the bringing things in and out thing that HBO and some other places do. The more I've looked at that, the more it seems like that has, again, something to do sometimes with contracts with other services, which I don't fully understand. Like, once you own it and you have your own service, I don't know why you would farm it out again if that happens. I'm confused about some of that, but it doesn't look like CBS is doing that.
Yeah, it's weird. HBO's in a weird place because HBO already got like movies in and out. So like some of those movies that are coming in on HBO Max are just, they would have been on HBO anyway if HBO Max didn't exist. So I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah. But I would say that at the moment, this is the service that's the easiest to pick up for the thing you want for a month or two, and then leave and maybe get it again later if something else is there that you want later. There are very few reasons to hang on to this unless you have kids and they like a lot of the Nickelodeon cartoon programming. Like, I would say that that's probably the main reason. Sort of like people subscribe to, not that this is for kids necessarily, but sort of like the way people subscribe to Disney Plus for The Simpsons. Like, there's a couple of shows that your kids might binge and watch all the time that you might want that for, but
yeah,
if you're not a parent, I don't know that there's a lot here that, unless somebody likes Frasier the way a lot of people like Friends, and they just got to keep rewatching that over and over again.
Yeah, well, they've got all this stuff. They've got Rocko's Modern Life and Ren and Stimpy and like all that 90s stuff, which I know a lot of people will be into.
Daria and
Rugrats stuff is on here.
And Beavis Butthead was also I guess you were just talking about Nickelodeon, but also the MTV side of it. They've got too.
Yeah, that's true. I said MTV had a lot of reality shows, but they also have some of their animated stuff on here too, and their scripted stuff.
But the Beavis and Butthead thing was also very surreal to see in that commercial, where you're like, I guess we're trying to sell this to everybody, but it's just weird because it's like they're going in a time machine and going, remember this show? Yeah, 25 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, they got Aeon Flux on here too.
Yeah, I've never seen any of that.
Do your superhero rewind on that.
Are you talking about the movie or the TV show? Because that got a movie in the early 2000s or the late 90s, but it was a show first.
Yeah, 1 season of it is on here. 10 episodes.
That's all I had.
I know because it didn't start playing immediately. It actually took me to a page, so that means it's a TV show.
Wait, anything else you want to mention before we bid everybody farewell?
I think we got that's a good first impressions, I think. Cool. You can just scroll through and look through their content list. I mean, we're not going to do that for you, but you can look that up and see if there's some stuff on there. Carmen Sandiego, I'm seeing here.
Yeah, I think that's the old 90s cartoon.
Danger Mouse. I don't know what that is.
Oh, Danger Mouse. Yeah, I forgot about that. I think that was a Nickelodeon thing.
Yeah, it's on the Nickelodeon page. Yeah. So yeah, there's a good. I don't know. It's up to you. This is very specific to people. Like I can't recommend this just like for everyone. It's got to have some specific stuff that you want to watch.
And again, personally. Impossible not to compare them. A lot more so than HBO and Disney because those are way more universal. Like. When you go to HBO, like a lot of people are gonna want access to like the black and white classic movies that they have and stuff like that. Like when you have that and Cartoon Network and all of HBO and
it's just a wider net, right? Yeah, you're just pulling in more audiences. Like this is only a couple different audiences, whereas that, and it's weird to say that about Disney, but I guess that's true these days about Disney that they have that big of different audiences in their one brand.
But a lot of that is because they're playing a game of Risk and they're trying to buy up everything.
Yeah. But yeah, a lukewarm recommendation. I don't like the UI and it doesn't have enough to keep me on, but it might have enough for you if you can deal with the kind of bugginess of it and and hopefully they'll fix some of that stuff.
Yeah, hopefully that gets better. But it's also weird because it was there already, so like, I don't know that we can trust that they'll actually do too much to it.
Yeah, it's hard. It's they don't really have to compete, right? Because it's like, well, this is the only place if you're here for this show, then this is the only place you can get it. So we don't really have to try too hard to get your subscription. We just have the show, and that's you can't do anything about it, which is kind of annoying. But
it honestly looks a little thrown together. Like, it's not terrible, but it's real bare bones.
yeah, it looks nice. The interface looks good. It's just the experience that has some issues.
Yeah,
and I don't know.
I mean, it's also generic, but I guess I don't know what you do to spruce up a streaming service and make it look, make it stand out without being obnoxious and making it difficult to navigate. I just can't keep looking at that Clarice image. Why is that a thing? I've heard nothing but horrible things about that pilot. And
is that? I don't even know what that is. Is that based on Silence of the Lambs?
Yeah, so it's Clarice without Hannibal Lecter. It's a Clarice, like, prequel reimagining thing by herself. Who cares?
That would be like making, instead of making Bates Motel, making the what's her name?
I knew you were gonna say that. Yeah.
I can't think of her name. Oh no. That would be interesting. I'm talking about making just the woman that he kills.
Oh no, that would be terrible.
Which, of course, I can't. I can never think of names when I'm on camera. I don't know why that happens.
Every other episode, she goes to a hotel.
Yeah, she just keeps going to different hotels.
With suitcases of money.
Yeah, that sounds like terrible. I don't know why we need prequels for characters that aren't the main characters.
Guys, thanks a lot for watching. We're going to be back in a few hours to do another episode of the Captain Logan Show, so join us at 7 o'clock Central for that. And if you're watching this later, you can also go back and watch the episode of the Captain Logan Show that we've already recorded. Tomorrow night is going to be the premiere of the Justice League Superhero Rewind at 7 o'clock. I'll be in the Central Time again. I'll be in the comments if you want to chat with me while that's broadcasting. That'll be an hour long, and then you can watch it, of course, anytime after that once it's premiered. And lots more stuff happening on Geekvolution over the next couple weeks. It's going to be a real dense, thick couple of weeks because of all of the new release superhero stuff that's happening. This weekend, we're going to be tackling WandaVision. We're going to do a spoiler cast on Sunday night, again at 7 Central, and then next week is the Snyder Cut, which we're going to do a live blind watch of. I don't want to say commentary. It's going to be mostly probably just us reacting I don't even know if I'm going to keep that video up, but that will again be at 7 o'clock Central next Friday when you'd usually have a rewind broadcasting, and then that Sunday we'll do a spoiler cast. So tons of stuff, major live stuff going on. My head's going to explode, DJ.
You're getting such an overdose. You're like overdosing on Snyder, man.
I really am.
All right, well, I'm gonna get going. We're gonna write our Marion TV show. We're gonna get cracking on that.
I couldn't remember her name either. We should do that. We should make a parody, but that means we'd have to watch that Clarice show, and I don't want to do that.
No, that's too much.
It's too much. Well, anyway, thanks again for watching, folks. We'll see you again real soon. I'm Captain Logan. That was DJ Martinez.
See you later, everyone.
DJ, thanks for reminding me about this and making sure that we did our first impressions. DJ keeps me grounded and making sure that I'm actually doing my job, so I appreciate it.
That's me, the fun police.
All right, well, we'll see you later, folks. Bye.